Go.
Oh boy!
Oh wow, guys, those reactions are terrible. Unless we're like, I don't know, it could be like 50 yards away on those passes.
Oh,
That worked really well.
That's all right. I got to talk to production.
Big motion.
Choreographer, come back in here.
Just have to make it all the way to Florida. Hold on.
That's a long
Florida,
pass.
man.
Oh boy!
All right, let's get in here. I'm Darren with Arbitrage Trade, and this is After the Bell. We are back. Yay! After a week vacation, in quotes. And my guests are, of course, Daniel Hopwood. He's in top right, and he is an ex-institutional wealth manager. Hold your applause, please. And then we have Josh, a.k.a. The Bank, down in the bottom left, JPM/JP Morgan. And then we have our founder and CEO, Royce Wells, bottom right, and we all are here because of him. So,
yep, Papa Bear going down to the right.
Don't say bear. Bear is not allowed here. I am Darren Harper. I'm Darren Harper. I'm the host. I have to put up with these guys every week, especially that millennial over there. And I am the resident retail investor who's been called names.
Called out. What did I do?
Because I'm getting to that. You wrote this thing today. I'm the resident retail investor who's been called names like APE, Dumb Money. Charlie Gasbag Marino says that I live in the basement with my parents at my parents' home, and I've been told I throw poo at people because I don't like them. So
yes.
I digress.
No. I said you smell. I say you smell like poo in the audio.
Oh, that's much better. I apologize for being mean there because that's a much better compliment. All right, we're gonna disclosures. We are not financial advisors, and this is not financial advice. This information provided is surely for educational and entertainment purposes only. Please always consult an investment professional before making any final decisions. All right, so speaking of final decisions, it looks like a lot of people made final decisions to pump this market even more this week. And the funny thing is at the end, we're seeing the Mag 7 come down. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. The big thing, though, is we had a little Western shootout at somewhere, and it seems that the president getting shot drove up the markets. So we need to explain that and why, because I think what was intended there. We have lost Royce. I assume he'll be back. President getting.
Can you still hear me?
Shot. I do. I hear you. Yes. Well, now we're gonna have to just edit everything.
All right. Sorry, I like disconnected and I had to switch everything.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, hopefully we'll get Royce to pop back in here. He has frozen. Royce has frozen.
He's still connected. It's weird.
He is. I see that, but his connection is frozen.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me see if I can. Obviously, I'm gonna have to do some editing. I'll just do a reset and. Oh, now I hear you.
There we go. Okay.
It is showing red bars though. Maybe it's coming back here. The kids may be playing with your connection.
You guys see me?
Let's see.
Yes.
Now it's yellow. Progress. Now it's green.
Buffering.
So let's see if it gets you back in here. And I'll just start over from. All right. I see you now, Royce. And you are moving.
Uh-oh. Is it just me and you, Daniel?
Don't hear you, though, yet. Now you just popped out again. What's going on over there?
I see. Yeah, we're playing Hollywood Square.
There. Yay. You're back now, for sure. Okay.
I never left. I saw all of you talking.
Yes.
Literally.
It was something with your connection over there for some reason. I don't know why.
You were frozen.
Yes, you were.
Hopefully the facial expression wasn't ugly.
And this is not well. I'm going to start. I'm going to do a restart like from here forward. I'll not the introductions, but then we'll just start it clean with from the tail of the tape. So, all right, here we go. You ready? Yes.
Sure.
Okay. Good.
Sure.
All right, here we go. All right, let's get on to the market. It is the tail of the tape time. We had a unfortunate situation that happened in where was that? The president was shot at. Blah blah blah. We don't know anything about it. This is not a political show. We're not going to go down that road. But
Wait, Admiral shot at?
but
Does he know?
some interesting things. Some interesting things. See, I'm ignoring that. Some interesting things. The markets and futures and everything started saying, oh, it's going to keep going up. I mean, because there's always a reason for the funds to say, let's keep putting money into the market. And sure enough, they have twisted and turned. And our little millennial has found a way to say that it's still going to keep going up and to the right. So let's talk about that. Not only that, because Trump was supposed, I think he was did he go to the conference, a Bitcoin conference in Nashville or something? I don't know. It seemed like I heard something like that. He was going or something. I don't know. Anyway, Bitcoin shot up to 65K. And as a result, markets hit all-time highs. And then Powell came out to say that he's going to drop rates before inflation hits it too. That's not exactly what he said. He hinted at it. And now investors are betting on Trump winning, and then regulations will get pulled away, and people will, because they're really in place right now, those regulations, and the taxes will be good for the wealthy again. The elites will because they're doing terrible right now. They're absolutely, I mean, they're in depression mode right now. Those elites.
Darren, you're such a hater.
I'm surprised no one's trying.
I'm sorry.
I'm like, don't take the bait.
This was supposed to be a soliloquy. What are these people that keep talking in my head here? I don't understand.
Like, the irony is he's just really like saying everything that I had written down for notes. Like,
wow, yes. Well, we're both apes, just different apes.
Yeah.
Yes, just different apes.
To be clear, these are my notes I have down. Darren's just saying them negatively.
Yeah, I've added. You mean I can take notes and slam them?
Is key
All
here.
perspective.
No one ever does that. They never slam.
This is like cheating in class in real life.
Spinning. Master of spin. I'm doing a spin class right now. All right, so Daniel, please, Daniel, just go ahead and grace us with your interpretation of what's happened over the last week.
Yeah, I mean, I will say as a whole, I was surprised markets went up after Trump got shot, right? I was like, definitely did not think that'd be good for markets, but maybe it's one of those things where like, war is good for markets at the end of the day kind of thing. I can't say I was necessarily surprised that Bitcoin went up because, after everyone saw that photo of Trump getting shot and then fist pumping, the like support for him on social media was quite high. And if you look at like the betting markets, I think Trump's in the lead with like 70% chance of like winning the election now, right? If that comes true, I have no idea. But with that and him being so pro crypto, I don't know if you guys saw Andreessen Horowitz came out the other day, both the co-founders of that venture fund, which is like one of the biggest in Silicon Valley, said they're going to support him clearly from a crypto perspective. So I'm not entirely surprised that Bitcoin jumped to 65K.
Well, like the big guys, right? And was it Altman? All these people are coming out supporting Trump.
Yeah, Altman came out.
In the business.
Elon came out. Yeah. So that was.
You can't count Elon and crypto. It's just Doge going.
Yeah. I mean, I think those guys were probably already going to all support them anyway, but they're now after this coming out and supporting them. I mean, it's pretty crazy, right?
Yeah.
Like.
I was watching something that basically gave some stats on how he dodged that bullet. They said it was a less than 1 in 1 trillion chance. How he turned his head at the exact moment, because the trajectory was supposed to like go through, I think, his right socket, and he turned at just the right moment to dodge that.
So you want to know what was funny? I don't know if you guys saw it, but he turned his head to look at a chart, and that's why he dodged it. And I don't believe this to be true, but it was a chart that had stats about illegal immigrants, and there are quotes of him afterwards saying, "Wow, illegal immigrants saved my life."
Well,
Which, like, if you know Trump, that's pretty it's like probably a fake quote, but pretty funny.
Hey, we
All right,
don't
so
need a wall. We just need Kevlar.
I did a quick look, and yes, Trump is supposed to be in Nashville next week for a crypto conference. So,
Excellent.
Hell yeah, brother.
yeah, I'm sure you will see that get played by the funds because they always play every bit of news one way or another. So,
Here's your one
always
chance
in their
Frank's
favor.
gonna let me down.
All right, Mr. Boats and banker and fun looking dude down in the Mr. JP Morgan. What say you about this?
I mean, the market reaction makes perfect sense. I mean, he introduced a ton of regulations and tax cuts, and he is obviously very, very, very pro business, pro big business, like large corporations, obviously Republican backed, that the whole majority there. It makes perfect sense that all of the big corporations that we're currently investing in are like, hey, yeah, this is great. This is awesome. And so, yes, of course, that with SPY and on QQQ and everything else jumping, it makes perfect sense because everything that they want is generally Republican policy.
Okay, so it should be said that there are not only just CEOs and wealthy people that are Republican. Let's just keep this, kind of fair here. There are plenty.
Some live in their parents' basement.
There are. I wish. Where are they? I need to borrow some money. Where are they?
Man, flinging
so
poo like nobody.
My point is, and I'm going to throw some poo here, is that the wealthy are both, believe it or not, liberal and Republican. So it's not.
You
just
say that, but you can count on one hand how many tax the rich people actually are rich.
Okay, let's look at the entire organization. The entire tech organization is made up of a ton of liberals, and you're going to say, and they have made a lot of money, and you're going to say that it doesn't benefit them? No.
Wait, we have two types of apes?
They're liberal. They're liberal on paper as far as virtue signaling goes. They're not actually liberal.
Yeah, totally with Daniel on this one.
All right, we're going to go down the wrong road here. This is not
feel
what this
the burn.
is
Feel the burn.
Wait. I have another bone to pick with Darren today. I see on here we have to stop letting the millennial write the show before we have a heart attack.
Stop reading my notes.
You can put in your own topics.
I was creamy white, and now I'm all red because I'm about to have a heart attack. Well, when we started this, jeez, I don't know what this is.
I thought you were just getting some sun.
I did. I thought too, but it's a watch. I need to get my med. Where are my meds? He's talking again.
Yikes.
So, just before we move on, there's nothing about China that matters here. I mean, because he was tough on China, does it not matter anymore that he will get, if he gets elected, that will be a problem again, or would that be beating a dead horse, literally, which is what China is? And any quick comments there?
Well, the markets that popped were not China related. Like what popped was all
right now. We're not. You're right.
Pro U.S. business, and that again is very on brand for Trump.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
The things that basically I've been watching, and it's a little bit off to the right, maybe left. I don't know. Yeah, it's what's happening in the crypto market right now. There's a huge demand for Tether. So basically, if you guys are following the dollar, right, I'm always pro dollar, right? And Tether basically sits in a very unique spot right now because basically they're backing 100% of their crypto, the USDT, USDC, all is being backed by the US dollar. So the fact that there is such a demand for USDT and USDC across multiple networks makes me think that the dollar is not going anywhere, for one, and two, that basically whether they're converting it from Bitcoin to Ethereum, everybody still winds up back at the tethered US dollar. So if I were brand new to this environment, I'd figure out a way to get me some USDT, or at least be able to invest in Tether, the company.
Well, wasn't the controversy with Tether, and I could be confusing this with another stable coin, is that their balance sheet wasn't entirely U.S. denominated, either treasuries or dollars, that they actually had other things, and that they weren't properly marked to their book compared to like USDC was.
I forget. And this has been about 2 or 3 years. I remember I did a state of the bands on Tether and basically how they were doing it, and they actually passed their regulatory audits about 2 or 3 years ago. I'm not sure how often they're doing them now, and if it's still 100% U.S. dollar based. But the last few audits, their books have been clean, and it's alarming how much Tether is out there. So it means like all across Binance, across Coinbase, across all these networks, like for example, TRX, that network, across ERC20, TRC20, there's a lot of movement with Tether in the cryptocurrency market space. So you have to, when you cash out your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, whatever your coin is, you have to go somewhere, and people want to make sure that their money retains value. So Tether is basically getting a lot of face time right now.
Yeah, it looks like Tether is still number 3 with a market cap of 113 billion, and Ethereum has a market cap of 410 billion, and they're number 2.
Nice.
So
But that's just their coin, not the coins behind them. Right? So
I was just talking about their coin specifically.
Yeah. So it's heating up. It's heating up, and no one sees it's a slow boil. But watch, after the last Bitcoins are mined, after Ethereum basically starts to take off, when Bitcoin's going down after it's because they've moved to proof of work. There's still a lot. There's still a lot out there that could be happening for Tether.
Well, that's a perfect transition to the next section where we can continue to make Darren mad.
We were no. You'd be surprised what I might think here.
So you got my text message.
Yes,
I will be.
Your WhatsApp. Just answer your message. But real quick before we leave this, one last thing is these rate cuts are not going to benefit the 80% of us. They're only going to benefit the top 20%. And so this wealth gap, when they start doing the rate cuts, is going to get worse and worse. Am I wrong or not?
Absolutely, you are. But I'll let other people chime in first.
I see. I want Josh to go.
I have to say, someone has their children or somebody yelling in the background.
Yeah. Hey, give me 2 seconds.
Uh-oh. All right, Daniel, talk about it while he's doing that.
Okay, so you were talking about rate cuts and how it affect markets, right?
I'm talking about immediately. It's going to really benefit the wealthy who have already benefited from this, and it's going to make that wealth gap wider. Now, later on, it will help, but by then, the piles and piles of money they just keep adding on to, the elites and the wealthy will really keep benefiting with those rates going down.
Yeah,
all I'm asking is yes or no.
On a whole spiel. I mean, over the long run, surely it helps just because wealthy people have more money in the markets to gain from the appreciation of markets over time.
Mm-hmm.
But in the short term, I do not believe you're correct.
Oh, so you're saying the opposite.
And also,
I can dig at Josh. Hey,
welcome back, Josh.
Nice transition.
I'm back. Let's go.
We still hear you. That's awesome.
Okay.
Not as pretty background. We don't see the boats now anymore. They're kind of faded in the background. But that's cool.
So with the rate cuts coming in, right, this basically allows people to afford more housing, which basically gives the housing market a little bit of a boost. Because with the rates being as high as they are, people were slowing down actually buying because they couldn't get qualified, right? Your debt to income ratio determines what you can buy, and basically the interest rate impacts that tremendously. Cutting the rates helps people afford more housing. Literally, as we said, I think 2 or 3 after bells ago, we talked about basically the American dream. Everyone wants to own a house, an average $200,000 house with an average family that has a $35,000 combined income, or basically a single contributor of $35,000. They can't afford a $200,000 house at the current interest rates. Them cutting the rates basically gave a little bit more breathing room, and you probably saw that the real estate investment trust ETF actually almost jumped 100 points afterwards.
Yeah, the REITs, et cetera, all that. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I think so to make sure I get highlight this properly, Darren, you are wrong because more people can afford the American dream because those they cut those rates, and I'm sure Josh would appreciate, since he's in real estate, them cutting the rates to allow people to continue to buy houses.
All right, before we go to Josh, the only thing I'm gonna throw in there, since this is like a debate, I get a chance to talk back again. Is by the time we hit that, everybody's gonna be so in debt that debt to the rate ratio is gonna be terrible.
100 points. I've actually physically seen more.
My point is, these people who are potential home buyers are going to be so far in debt and bankruptcies everywhere that they're not going to be able to buy a house. They're going to be right back at trying to rent from BlackRock and all these other companies that have bought all the homes from them. Meanwhile, between now and then. So, Josh, banker, speak.
Hold on. I have a point, because I do think Darren's right in the short term. If you look at every time the Fed has cut interest rates the last, I believe, like 4 or 5 times, 3 months preceding that, there's been a market downturn. And, with market downturns, we have job loss, recession to whatever degree.
It's in the Fed. It's in whatever businesses are still available and haven't
gone bankrupt. Months, year after, that's when Royce does become right. When they're done cutting rates, they are low. Then people can go back and buy houses once they have jobs again.
Yay, summer 2025. Here we come. All right, Josh.
I'm going to let Josh speak before I speak to what you just said.
Okay, yeah, lots to unpack here. But yeah, I mean, yes, what Darren is trying to explain are essentially the little people. He's sticking up for the guys like the what we would consider like retail investors. And yes, a lot of those people are sitting, and I am literally in this situation myself currently, sitting on the sidelines waiting for things to kind of unfold, figuring out I don't know what the interest rate cut is going to happen, when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen, if it's going to happen. And if it does, it's just, there's a whole level of uncertainty. And when you introduce that into a market, buyers get hesitant. Currently selling a house, people are kind of sitting on the sidelines waiting on things to develop. And once they do get those rate cuts, you are going to get a pop on the market. There's going to be money pouring back into real estate for at least a temporary period of time. It's going to take for rate cuts to really affect the real estate market. It's going to have to roll out, and it's going to take maybe a year before the little people, the institutional people are going to be able to, or the retail people are going to be able to find it. What you're getting right now that's propping up the market are all of the institutional investors, the people that still have the money, that are scooping up houses, and they're thinking 20, 30 years out. They're not thinking about what is the time, what is it going to cost me right now? How much am I going to pay in a mortgage? They're looking at, the housing market's going to increase just because the value of the dollar increases, because the value of the house increases, and everything flows in that manner. And just off top, segue is, even if there is a slight correction, you're looking at 15, 20%. I think in 2008, the max was 30%. So yeah, it helps with some of the costs of buying a house and owning a house, but it doesn't really make a massive difference like everybody thinks it might.
But just to basically also illustrate something that you guys may not have
wrap it up,
realized. I'm sorry?
I think, give us a wrap on this one.
Okay.
You get the final say. Final say.
I don't get more talking time?
No, millennial. Be quiet.
Oh, don't worry.
I have more points.
I'm coming back for you. Hold on. From where we're currently sitting, where the current interest rates are, they are higher than where we were at 2008. Not sure if you guys realize that. Because when I bought my house in 2001, the interest rate was, I think, 6.185 or something like that. 875 is where I literally bought my house in 2001, right? We're sitting way above that. So that means until things get where things really hit the fan, literally just getting the rates back down to 2008 level would be an accomplishment. And then basically past that, where they started doing the quantitative easing to where we got to where we were two and a quarter, 2.5. I don't think we'll see that for another decade. Like, there's no way. Because
just clarifying question: are you saying where rates started in 08 or where they ended at like
where they
zero?
started in 08.
Okay, where did they start? I was like 6.
Yeah.
God.
You mean
Wasn't
Barney
actually
didn't have
6.
Hey,
I was
Barney
12.
didn't have a
Okay,
show
I
on
wasn't
this?
watching. I wasn't paying attention to CNBC at the time.
yeah, but yeah. So from where we're sitting, yeah, there's no way. Like, even if they cut rates and let's say they brought it back down to what the rate was, 6%, that's still above where it was in 2008. So
But yeah,
a lot
the
of
rate-
people who are in the private sector, they're like, okay, I can sit. And you have to also remember that institutional investors, when they invest, they're not paying a mortgage. They're paying the price of it is right now, and then letting it appreciate, and then selling it to just realize the full gain from it, right? So if you, like, for example, my house, when I bought it, it was 145K. My house is currently appraising at about 415 right now, right? So if I bought it straight out in 2001, regardless of the interest rate, I'm sitting at almost a 200% return on my money for basically owning my house for 20 years.
Yeah, but that's kind of the point that I was trying to make, is the only people that are really concerned about, as far as specifically mortgage rates, the only people that are really concerned about that particular interest rate are the ones that are like thinking, what am I going to have to pay per month for this house?
I agree 100% there.
So, and you have to also consider, and again, I can go on for hours about this whole thing, but you also have to consider that the interest rate on, you go back to the boomer argument where they're like, oh, well, we paid 13, 14% interest back in the 60s and 70s. Okay, that's all well and good, but the value of the house.
Yeah, it was a $30,000 house back then, as opposed to
right,
a $300,000 house.
Right, your income ratio was significantly different. I mean, you could make, you had to make like $40,000 a year, even adding on inflation or considering inflation. You had to make like $40,000 a year with a single income household to be able to afford something that is reasonable now. In this current economy, it's like $250,000.
Yes.
As far as the average price of a house.
413.
Unless you're living in the sticks or you're living in something that
Right.
we call living.
Or you have to completely relocate to some area that is more affordable. And but again, that is, as someone who has recently moved, that's not exactly a small undertaking.
No. That's why loan assumptions are so big right now. Even in the corporate sector, they're like, anybody want to help take over this current rate? I have a really sweet rate. I'll throw in some incentives. You assume it and go with it.
Right. All right, guys. Well, let's move on.
I gotta get back to Daniel. I want to beat him up a little bit.
What? This would be like the longest first section we've ever had.
Bernie Sanders coming with the chair.
With your hands like this in the cold and your mask.
No. All right, I'll leave him alone.
What did I say? Bring it on.
No.
Bring it on.
Catch him later. Like I said, we haven't got past tail of the tape yet.
Oh yeah. Come on. All right, fine.
I'll see you out by the dumpster afterwards.
Yeah. 3:00. Tomorrow.
High noon.
Tomorrow.
All right.
High noon.
All right.
Just
Foreign
before
exchange.
dawn.
Just really quick, let's talk about and we kind of touched on it, but yeah, like we were transitioning about an hour ago, and now we're transitioned to Bitcoin versus Ethereum. Who's going to win? Why? Et cetera. I do believe Ethereum. I'm one of those that thinks Ethereum will surpass Bitcoin, but I could be wrong. So Daniel start, and then Royce, and then around. And unless we want this to be a 3-hour show, we'll try to make it concise from here on.
Hey, we have plenty of material.
Yes, we do.
I don't know what the word concise means, but I'll try.
Let's break the internet.
So yeah, it was probably a lot quicker show when I wasn't around. You want my internet to break. So the Ethereum ETF was approved, and the ETF should be coming on the market within, a week to a few weeks. You never really know until it's a few days out. But since the Bitcoin Ethereum has been out, BlackRock has already assumed $18 million under assets for that ETF. And that's just BlackRock. That doesn't include
18 million?
No, billion. Sorry,
Okay.
if I misspoke.
I'm like,
Yeah.
what? They're afraid of it?
Yeah, no, and that doesn't include, Fidelity, Invesco, all the other ones.
Okay.
And so a lot of people are, kind of analyzing now, will Ethereum ETF surpass the Bitcoin ETF? And a lot of the institutional people, which I can't say I would necessarily listen to when it comes to crypto, especially because it's so new, don't think that Ethereum will surpass the Bitcoin ETF. And I mean, to be fair, let's see if I still have it up. The Bitcoin market cap is 1.2 trillion, where the Ethereum market cap is 410 billion. So they are, it does have a pretty significant way to go before it could catch up there. But I think the difference, and I think some of you guys will get into with Ethereum, is that there's an actual, technology platform behind it that it was built for, right? Bitcoin's being added onto, but Ethereum had that from its foundation, and I think Ethereum will surpass Bitcoin over time once the education comes, which is a pretty big hurdle. But once, I think the big shifting point will be once a proof of stake is either allowed for companies like BlackRock. Once they have the holdings, they're allowed to either do proof of stake, maybe they pay out a dividend through the ETF, or they have a specific vehicle for proof of stake. You'll see all the investment funds do such a large push because they'll be able to make so much money through it that Ethereum will become the big ETF to push. And that's really where the appreciation in the money will kind of transition to. Unless,
all right,
they build something crazy with Bitcoin, but that's
we agree on something. That's crazy.
Yes.
All right, Royce.
All right.
Anything to add?
I'm going to take it way into the institution and pull it way back, because basically there are levels, right? So we have the retail investor, we have the institutional investor, then you have private lenders, right? Ethereum, I think, is going to more than surpass Bitcoin, because think about their market cap. Ethereum is sitting at about $3,500, $3,600 a coin. Last I checked, it may be more, maybe a little bit less, right? And its market cap is there with proof of stake Ethereum 2.0 coming out. So it means literally just Ethereum making it to $7,000, $8,000 per coin should allow it to surpass Bitcoin at $65,000, $66,000 per coin. And then you add on the idea of smart contracts. Smart contracts allows you to you can turn a bond into an Ethereum contract. You can turn basically almost a lawyer as contract. You can literally put them into the smart contracts. You're eliminating lawyers potentially, but that's another story. But anything that basically is out there that's contractually based, you can set it up where basically anytime there are any dependencies where money's changing hands, you can literally use Ethereum to facilitate the transaction, which means you're eliminating paymasters, which like I said, that's institutional level things or private lender level, and basically monetizing bonds. There's a whole plethora of things that if institutions are allowed to sink their teeth in, Ethereum should be, as they say, to the moon.
Royce, I have two like kind of questions for you. So for example, smart contracts, Bitcoin, it has stacks on it, right? Which I guess is technically a layer 2 for you to write smart contracts on top of Bitcoin. And there's also the Lightning Network to make Bitcoin very cheap to transact. Do you not think the, larger brand of Bitcoin and its potential network effect wouldn't allow those things to take off more as Bitcoin becomes more mainstream? Or do you think with Ethereum having those things built in from its foundation, it has the platform to, overtake Bitcoin still?
I still think basically because it's having to learn. Ethereum had to fall on its face a few times even to get to proof of stake. And so basically some of the hurdles that it's faced in the past, Bitcoin still has to get over, right? And then you add the addition of like, okay, not basically cousins, right? You're talking about the Lightning Network, right? Well, you look at TRC20, right? That's basically, it was originally based on Ethereum, but now basically even it has basically taken off and splinter cell, and its transactions to basically move money in and out of country or basically validate literally, and this is me just talking about my own personal wallet, right? I had over 200 confirmations of a transaction in less than 20 seconds when I literally bought something for like $10 on that network. Over 200 confirmations in less than a minute. So just from the blockchain, just from Ethereum, the smart contracts, and basically everyone being able to say, okay, is this real? Is it Memorex? Is this really happening? I think Ethereum has the infrastructure, the technology, and the positioning to basically blow Bitcoin in the dust, basically blow it out of the water.
That is 3-0 now. Josh, you're the last voter. Ethereum or Bitcoin?
I mean, I still got to go with Bitcoin.
Of course.
It's nothing like, it's literally nothing. Bitcoin, crypto is not my specialty, but it's really just from a superficial standpoint where you look at. I don't necessarily, when I think of crypto, and I think the vast majority of people, like if you ask anyone on the street what they think of as far as crypto is concerned, your immediate answer is Bitcoin. I don't think, Ethereum or Litecoin or I don't know, is Tron still around? All of those.
Yeah, Tron is definitely still around.
Yeah, all of those other coins. Like if you ask anybody on the street, just interviewing random people, they're going to say Bitcoin's the answer. And I really think that's going to trump a lot of technicals of what is what is cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
But again,
what about the barriers to entry? Like if it takes me $66,000 to enter at the Bitcoin level, if I have $7,000 at the Ethereum level, I can buy almost 10 Ethereum or exercise almost 10 times the amount of business versus a single Bitcoin transaction.
I mean, I can certainly understand that. And I guess if you're looking at it from like a, 30,000 feet kind of look in 10, 20 years outlook, that's great. But considering how quickly crypto has changed and evolved, I think that looking 10 to 20 years, down the road is almost a waste of time.
So you think it's going to take 20 years for Ethereum to make it to $7,000?
Not 7. No, I'm just for it to surpass crypto, for it to surpass Bitcoin.
That's what I'm saying. Ethereum only has to make it to a valuation of almost $7,000 per coin to beat Bitcoin's current market cap.
Well, yeah, but I mean, Bitcoin's going to appreciate at the same time, right? So it's fighting it. It's not, pegged there.
But even so, let's say from where Bitcoin was, or not Bitcoin, Ethereum. Ethereum was sitting at like $1,400 per coin, right? When Bitcoin was sitting at, and its market cap at that point was about 3 to 4, I don't want to say 300 and something. Bitcoin made it to 1.2, 1.3 trillion as its market cap. And basically, Ethereum gained 33% in that same time. It only gained about a 10% versus the Ethereum's 33% market cap gain. So Ethereum is fighting extremely hard to position itself, and it doesn't take that much money, at least in my opinion, almost a 10-to-1 to get there. So as Bitcoin slows down, as it's finished being mined, all the coins and all the Satoshi are being basically created, Ethereum is just getting its first, second, third win. And I honestly think I don't see 20 years. I see maybe five, and it'll overtake it.
I mean, I think it just depends where the institutional push comes from, because that's really
But if
Like
institutions
like
are
I
allowed,
said,
What it
the
always
the
is.
But if
the
institutions
education
are allowed
push
to-
on Ethereum
Yeah.
versus Bitcoin is so much higher for, you know, them to push these ETFs to any, whether it's retail or institutional fund.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it'll
they'll flip the
depend.
switch to make the money. They'll flip the switch. That's what's going to happen.
But if institutions
And
are allowed
that's
to
why,
buy them,
Darren,
the
you should
valuation
buy
should go up
some so
really
you're not
quickly.
so cranky in 5 years when it
I'm a few thousand. I'm a few thousand short to buy any of that. Remember, I'm a Poe retail investor. All right, let's move on here. Let's go to Boeing. It's gone from, I mean, woof. I mean, I know we're beating that to death too, but I mean, it went from 267 at the end of last year down to 159 mid-year this year or April, and I mean, at this point, I'll throw my conspiracy hat out there because it's like stories are just being created or even purposefully done to these incidents that keep happening. I mean, it's almost like somebody inside is making that wheel come off here or that door to come off here, and just so that we can drive the price down on Boeing and then make money coming back up again. I don't know. That's the conspiracy thing I have. What's going on there? I mean, I see you smiling really big, Josh. So why don't you start this one?
Oh no, I just thought the headline of Boeing nosedive was hilariously spicy.
Oh, it was, wasn't it?
That could not have been more on point.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
appreciate that one.
Yes. I mean, anything to throw in here besides just that Boeing's got this lawsuit going on that, I mean, there's all kinds of mess going on. And as long as there's news about Boeing, it's going to be driving that price down, but it's starting to come back up again.
I do.
So
I mean, it is really sad though, you know, and again, let's put on our APE hats, and the fact that you're looking at 487 million is the payout. And I wish I'd written it down, but it's like hundreds of thousands of people that have been affected. And yet the entirety of the payout it's not like, I mean, you're literally convicted felon as a company, and you're just ordered to pay out $487 million to hundreds of thousands of people. That's just
what we call, us apes call that the price of doing business, right? That's just a P&L statement.
Well,
Right.
well, to be fair, I think this they pled guilty to a criminal conspiracy charge is only for 2 crashes that happened in 2018, 2019. I don't think it's for anything beyond that. So maybe not. They'll have more charges coming to them in the future, because if this is all they face, that would be insane, right? Because we're 5 years past that, and there's been so many more.
Right.
I mean, you know, if you just can make people not obviously disappear and get away with it for, you know, whistleblowing and all of this stuff.
Yes.
I fail to see that something else is going to come down the line. Like, I think it's going to be like, hey, you complained, we heard you, Boeing has been charged, we made them pay $500 million, and that's going to be the headline, and then it's going to slowly disappear with some other headline.
Hey, I'm going to make all of the millennials scratch their head. We found Amelia Earhart. We found Amelia Earhart.
And Elvis is still out there too.
He's like, who? What? Who's that person?
I mean, I know who Amelia Earhart is. I don't understand that. I guess I'm missing the reference.
She was the blind and deaf one, right?
And Tupac is still there.
No, basically, they lost her plane in the Bermuda Triangle. She hasn't been found.
Well, yeah, she was blind and deaf. Why'd they let her fly?
Oh, dear God. What happened? What happened?
We're kidding, FCC. We're kidding.
How to get canceled 101.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
Sorry, I'm bad with history, you know.
Yeah. And willing to admit it, unlike most millennials. All right, let's go.
Stuff was a long time ago.
Let's move on though from Boeing. How about Costco? They raised their prices. Are they just
wait? I thought Royce was going to make me sound or something.
No, we got to move on. We got to move on.
I forgot. We were talking about Boeing, right?
Yeah.
I personally think Boeing will be over 225 before we make it to the election.
I do
One
too.
might say you think they're taking off, or
Yes, one might think they're
Yes.
taking off. Yeah,
You
just
can
like
buy your tickets now.
Hey, remember what I said about Tesla when it was at 164?
Not financial
It's sitting
advice.
at 257 now.
Yeah.
But hey, just for the record, I'm not a financial advisor. This is
Exactly.
not financial advice.
We just look at charts and
I only look
AI
at the
bots
charts
that
and I'm
tell
like,
us.
oh,
Yeah.
it's about to take off.
Yes. All right. That's enough on those jokes. We're going to move on to Costco, like I said. So what's Costco doing? This is more money grab. What's going on? What's Costco's raising their membership fees? I mean, retail's having a rough time right now.
So Costco costs more? What?
The membership.
Yes.
So I guess look forward to Sam's Club doing the same. I don't know, but
Yeah, the cost company costs more. Got it.
yeah.
inflation,
They specialize.
man. It's out here. It's wild.
So anyway, it was first time ever. Is that right? Or 7 years?
No, first time in the last 7 years.
Yeah.
You know.
So I mean, it's just $5, right? So kind of a whatever.
$5 for like the base one, and then their executive membership, and went up 10. But if you think about that, that's across 52 million customers.
Yeah.
Right. That's a lot of money.
They do pay their employees really
like
well
Amazon
too.
Amazon adding ads to our Prime, and you have to pay to get them removed when they weren't there to begin with. Got it?
It's a money
Well, that's
grab.
because streaming's always been an unsustainable business model that's been subsidized by cheap debt.
Amen. Amen. Go see a movie. All right. So Josh,
just like Uber, right? I loved it when Sequoia subsidized my Uber home from the bar, but now I have to pay for it.
Right?
anything to throw in there, Josh? On
No, I mean, I'm just like,
I just saw your head shaking. So
He can't
it's a
believe
$5 raise, a $10 raise. They still have $1.50 hot dogs. Like, they pay their employees well. They like, to me, they're a model of a company and how it should effectively be run. I'll let the $5 slide. It's fine.
I do like Costco. I really do.
I mean,
like it.
You know, other than the fact that every time I step foot in the door, it's $500.
$400. But yep. 400 to 600.
It used to be $400. Now it's $500.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
$500 in a trailer to get everything out. But you know, there's the return policy, like everything about Costco it's fantastic. It's ideal. It's great. I will happily pay $10 more for my executive membership versus, you know, the like Amazon Prime or Netflix or all of these other subscription services that seem to inflate their prices every couple of years.
All right.
So
So
watch out for falling prices.
that's a different company.
That was intentional.
Falling pallets there, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Costco.
Walmart, you know, Sam's Club, you know, those guys.
If you're in Russia, watch out for people flying out of windows. They're quite clumsy over there.
All right. So just one more thing here. You know, we've kind of gone back and forth between what we were going to discuss today anyway in different sections, but this whole jawboning thing, I'm getting tired of it. And it's almost feels criminal to me because to me, it's manipulating markets. I'm going to be more specific here. The Fed has 5 people that come out and talk every time. I mean, minimum. And it's like they come out in at certain times to talk, and the market always boop or boop when those people talk. And so if they might have a different thing to say, each one of them, it's almost like it's planned. Here,
Hey, my charts love them.
it's almost like it's planned because Powell will want to come out and say, you know, blah 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 blah. Markets go boom, and then one of the other governors will come in and then they'll say something, and then markets go. And it's like it's timed and planned. I mean, am I way off here about the jawboning?
It's all a part of the show. It's all a part of the show.
President Powell just wants to keep you entertained.
Yes.
Showing narratives. Yeah. Hey, he's back.
I saw some memes, and this is horribly off subject and circling way back to the Trump thing. It's like they were saying, unfortunately, my recent accidents have left me scarred in the form, referring back to Emperor Palpatine, as we have Trump on the Imperial Council addressing addressing the I guess international
Few.
conflict. Yeah, those guys.
Few will get that. Few will get that. Me included. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway. Top 5% of people, intelligence-wise, will get that. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, I'm included. I'm included.
Yes. Yeah, you are literally. All right, so let's move on to the crayons. We're going to do an hour show today. Let's move on to the crayons.
No, my kids will just hop in and basically.
I think yes, and then show over. Royce, you're gonna talk about Shopify.
Shopify. I'm loving Shopify. So Shopify on the 4-hour time frame doesn't look too great. However, looking at this guy, okay, we have several things going on. So basically, May of this last year, around the 13th even, basically they fell underneath our infinity band saying, hey, we're about to go down. Pips let us know all the way as early as May 8th, before that 13th crash, that it was coming. So we got our red X letting us know, hey, things are not looking great. But now we're going back up to test that line. That line looks kind of scary from where we are, but nothing is overbought, nothing is oversold. We're literally, this one is a little bit sneaky. See that red line that's basically crawling up there? Because we had this little bit of mean reversion, so all the way from the top all the way to the mean line of our infinity band, it was able to bottom out here, find support, and allow that red line to get off of our danger zone, which means it's like Groundhog Day. This guy has the ability, if he can actually get above the $70 threshold, to make it all the way up to over $100. And why is that important? Hey, if you got a Shopify store, or if you're in e-commerce at all, this might be a good time to invest or even look at what Shopify does. It basically levels the playing field against Amazon and a few other people, and allow basically, I guess, direct to ship. People don't have to have inventory. The hardest part about running the business is inventory. Shopify has a unique model, I would say. They got beat up earlier, but I think they're making a little bit of a comeback. Looking at this guy on the daily time frame, Shop, once again, looking bad as early as March of 2022, hasn't been able to get over that red line. But once again, it's sitting over the mean line on our daily time frame, which means it's putting up a very good fight, wants to hold this $59 valuation. And from here, once again, long term, if you guys are a buy and hold type investor, Shopify has the potential to maybe make it all the way up to almost $90. That's literally almost a 200% return if you're willing to wait between 3 and 5 years. That's all I got, guys.
All right, that's Royce with crayons and charts. And actually, one of the on our graphic, we have the HODL.
This wasn't a commercial for Shopify.
That's right.
Go to my store at www. Oh.
Yeah, that's right. Affiliate program. Well, the CNBC loves I forget his name, the guy who started Shopify. I feel like they
Tony or something.
Yeah, I don't know who it is, but I mean, they just absolutely just slobber all over him whenever he comes on there. So if CNBC
like
is CNBC. I'm not going to say Memphis things.
Josh had to hang his head.
At CNBC. They must have an investment in about it.
Slobber all over him.
Yeah, absolutely. Y'all are just being silly now. All right, so are we doing as the weight? Well, first of all, we got to announce that the apes have taken the lead. Thanks to Josh. A couple of weeks ago, we had AVGO, or is Broadcom, right? That he said would just go up, but it went way past even what he said at the top end. So he is the winner. I think it's 7-6 and not 6 is what we'll say to be nice. I guess I could pull up the school board. And I'll take it away quickly, Daniel, so people don't see it. There we go. And now we're back.
I
All right.
I give up at this point. I give up at this point.
To be fair, he was out for quite a while. So we'll just say that. And do you have a new one ready, by the way, Mr. Ships and Yachts and
I do
coastal thing? You don't? Are we going to do Shopify then? Or, I mean, or that's kind of a longer term, right? You said Shopify is a longer term. Would it be fun to do now?
What was the other one that Daniel wanted? The IBB?
Talked about IBB,
yeah.
but those ETFs are just kind of.
Can I be evil today?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
JP Morgan is sitting at the very top and edge of my system.
Oh boy. Okay.
So we're gonna take bets on down, or
Hell yeah!
Jamie Dimon.
All right.
I mean,
One
you
who's-
see the chart. Josh, you see the chart, right?
My name's
Hold on. Let me pull it up. You got it up?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Sitting
so here we go.
literally at the
Not that
edge of the
Crayons.
system on my Infinity Man.
I see that. And it's not the edge of glory. It doesn't look like.
Nope, sitting outside my Z Pro. And this is on the daily time frame. This isn't even a 4-hour.
Okay.
So
this is
what's
a
about to happen to
JP
these
Morgan
banks,
chart we're looking
boys?
at.
What's about to happen to these banks?
Exactly. Because, they're still
Alright.
paying off all those loans they took over the previous year. I mean,
so
that's still.
Wait, we need to figure out the ranges though.
That hits. Hold on. Let me just throw this in because I mean, you remember the bank term lending facility, and they've been paying on that, but it really shot up around September, and I guarantee you, all these funds are going to be singing Green Day's "Wake Me Up When September Ends" because that's when all these really high borrows were, and they're going to have to pay them back unless, of course, Jay Powell comes in and says something about let's just do this or that to get past it. All right.
So I'm going to cheat a little. I'm going to go to the 30-minute time frame and see whether the full range of this guy says it's possible to get the lowest he can get from where we are over the next 3 to 4 months. Only because the election is right around that time, right?
Takes a cheater to know one. JP Morgan. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. Go ahead.
Well, what? Dang. So it has a 4-month range between 220 and 173 as its possible low. So that's about a $50 range. But its immediate range for the next 7 days is sitting between 220 and about 200. So there's about $5 or $20 range to play with. Each person gets about $5.
So the swing range, somebody's dying, but a swing range.
Yep.
So JP Morgan, and obviously we're gonna have to let Daniel go first because we feel that way. we feel sorry.
He's like, I'm out.
So what are the he is gone. No, he's green now. His camera's off.
You're gonna take all my licenses away.
I'm hiding him right now with the chart, but I don't know. I guess I'll have to go ahead and pull back. Maybe he'll come back. Maybe not. Maybe we'll have to.
There he is. I see him. I don't hear him, but I see him.
What's the top of the upper danger zone sitting at?
The top of the upper danger zone is sitting right at about 200. The 204.79.
Okay.
So we'll say 205.
Yep.
And then down to 155?
No. That's basically the candles are too far from that danger zone. We're sitting at about 216 or 217 after the bell. So we got from 217 all the way down to about 200 being the edge of our range.
Oh, okay. I got you.
So there's a $20 range, and depending on what the market does here in the next, little bit.
It's not going to happen until September.
Hey, this is a daily chart. Actually, no, it's a 30-minute chart.
I was going to say, can you go back to the 4-hour?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. I got to pull it back on for the screen here too. All right,
4 hour. 1 second.
Boom.
1 second.
All right.
4 hour. And support ends are basically, we find heavy support. We find our orbit line. That's our pink line at 192.53. It should not be able to hit that before we get to the end of next week. But if the market's volatile enough, it could.
Yep. Yeah. I don't see it yet, but it might. You never know.
Yeah, 5-minute chart says, yeah, it's possible. It's the only one that's weighing in. It's like, yeah, 185.30. We get that low.
All right, so we're gonna go.
That's where odds come in. This is why I like odds. there's an 88% chance that we can fall between 221 and 188.
So is that our range then?
Technically, yeah. If we want to do the full range that's possible in our system, the arbitrage band. Hey,
So that's 33 then. Okay, divided by 4 is 8.
Yep.
So you get 8 each, basically. Then top end, bottom end. Daniel, we're going to go. We got 221 to 188. You have a channel of 8.
I want like 205 to 1.
wait a minute. How come Josh isn't going first? He won. Oh wait, we're letting the odd man out. Never mind.
It's because we feel sorry.
I've never won, so I don't remember the rules.
So you're giving them a gimme. Got it. Okay.
Well, no, it's because he didn't have one ready to go, so they didn't have to come up with a new rule. So when we'll just defer to the one who's in last place. So
I'm gonna be going first for a while.
no, not necessarily, because we'll have stocks ready. So Daniel, what is your range?
205 to 197.
Oh, he's very bearish. That's very strange for up and to the right.
Okay.
I'm tearing a page out of Darren's book.
Josh, you got your penalty stroke now. Now you can come in second. Then it's Royce, then me, I guess.
Yeah, I want the 205 and up. Like, are we cutting it at 205? I'm sorry.
No, we're not. So you're 205 to 213.
Okay, that's what I want.
Okay.
That's perfect, actually, because that leaves 8 at the top and then 8 at the bottom of that. So
Okay.
Royce, wait a minute,
All right.
190. Hang on. So you were 205 to 197. Okay, that's correct. All right. So we got over 213 and below 197, Royce.
All right, 213 to 221. I'll take the top range.
Okay, Royce, 220.
It means you have to come off of where I am.
I mean, that could work. It's a little spicy, but that could work.
Yeah.
So then I would get my wish, because that means that we tanked bad and we're going to be down to below 197 for me. Right?
It's possible.
Yeah, but I just
There's
don't think that's going to happen until later in the year. But hey, it could. You never know what'll happen between now and then.
I'm digging this pick.
Okay. All right. Cool. It'll be fun to watch. Finally, have something to watch all week, and for Royce to keep sending updates for us and saying, "Hey, I'm ahead." Blah blah blah. But it is like I said, it's 7 to 6 to 1, and maybe Daniel will start his momentum here to catch up with the rest of the crowd here in the U.S. All right. Appreciate everybody that has stayed in this long. If you're still here watching, then you are a hero. And we're going to see you again next week. Thanks, everybody, for stopping by. This is After the Bell.
Bye-bye.
Yay. Bye. All right. Recording stopped.